You know, we talked about Kevin Hart a couple weeks ago. The roast, the roast was like a big deal.
Yeah.
He got a lot of backlash. Did you guys hear his response to the backlash?
Yes.
I did.
Did you see the whole thing? I went to Netflix and watched it
I watched the
because
entire.
they had the clip on YouTube, but then I watched the whole interview.
Oh no, on the backlash or the
His
actual
response
roast?
to backlash on the Breakfast Club.
No, okay.
Ooh boy. Okay. All right. You're gonna hear a little taste of it. I don't know if they'll let us keep this up, so just keep that in mind. But let's see his reaction. Remember, this is a comedian. It's supposed to be funny. This is his attitude on the Breakfast Club.
Joke, yeah, the George Floyd joke. It wasn't a tasteful joke to our culture, to our audience, but our audience that's watching the roast. If you're watching the roast, you get why they're doing it. You get why the racial humor is on the table. Like, it's not. I wasn't shocked. Like, that's what they do. Go look at the Tom Brady one. Like, that's what they do. It happens every year when they do a roast. It's not new. This isn't a new. It's not a new agenda. It's not a new approach to comedy.
Do you feel like Tony Hinchcliffe went too far when he made that joke about George Floyd?
It's Tony Hinchcliffe.
Yeah.
Like, I don't expect less. I don't expect more.
I feel like you're saying going too far is the point. I don't want to put words in your mouth.
Yes, I mean, that's why you're there.
Mm-hmm.
And I hate to say this, but I'm going to because we're being honest. People are talking about that joke. Talk about his set. Tony Hinchcliffe arguably had the best set or one of the best sets between Tony and Cheryl, and I would say Naeem had a really strong set.
Naeem had a very strong set. I was laughing out loud at Tony until that joke.
Until the joke.
But not even just that joke. I don't like when people joke about violent, tragic death. I like Pete's set, and then I was like, why you had to say anything about Charlie Kirk?
Pete had a great set too. Pete had a Charlie Kirk joke in it. Like, would I tell those jokes? No. But do I get why they're being told? Mm-hmm. Yes. Like, I'm not looking at Pete crazy. I'm not looking at Tony crazy. Like, that's what I know what you're going to do. Mm-hmm. I know your style of comedy. Tony told a joke. It wasn't a tasteful joke to us. We didn't like it. Okay. Hey, man, that joke. We move on. I don't understand why we stand on a hill and it becomes like this big thing of like, oh, man, they do this and they're attacking the culture. It doesn't have to be that. It literally is either you're a fan of this level of content or you're not. And if you're not a fan, then you don't watch it. So my last note for all attached to this is very simple, okay? Whatever the headlines or whatever the dialogue is, my rebuttal is simplicity. Remove me from it. I didn't say it. If you are upset that the night went on, that's a different conversation. It's nothing I can do. It's a production. It's a live production. I'm not compromising the live production for a reaction of what? What do you want me to do? I'm going to drag him off? You want me to fight afterwards? You want me to turn it into, like, what? That's not what I agreed to do. That's not the job at hand. The job at hand was to produce a successful roast, which I did.
All right. So he was very angry, angry this whole time. You could tell the backlash is getting to him because, I mean, he had no kind of humor to this interview at all. Like maybe once or twice, but he was clearly bothered by the responsibility people are putting on him for what Kill Tony said. What are y'all's thoughts about his reaction? I mean, he was like almost rude in this interview. Like Lauren LaRosa was saying something. I think she or somebody else interviewed one of the family members of George Floyd, and he was like, "I'm never gonna watch your interview. I don't watch your stuff. I don't waste my time with stuff like that." Just like real like prideful, high and mighty. I'm rich, you not rich type attitude. It was very strange. What do you think?
Yeah, I watched the entire roast. And then I did watch a couple of clips from the Breakfast Club where he was responding to it. The thing that I don't get is the responsibility that any of them take when things go wrong. You know, there was a teleprompter there, and the teleprompter had the jokes pre-written. And there were some people on the roast that were skipping different jokes. They were like, "No, I'll go past that." I think it was Cheryl Underwood that did that. She skipped past that. And then there was a part where I think I think it was, one of those comedians. They just said skip past that as well. And so there is I saw Kevin reacting really harsh when they said, you read the jokes beforehand. He said he didn't see any jokes. He didn't know the jokes. He said the people at the top aren't always the ones controlling things.
Yeah.
I feel like in this situation, he is the one that's responsible because it was his roast. Someone pointed out to me that comedians usually don't do roast until they're on their way out of something. Like Tom Brady did his roast when he retired from the sport that he was, most known for. So a lot of these roasts are happening, and it's just like at this point where he wants to do this, you could do some things to get you canceled. You also could do some things to get you in hot water, and it kind of seems like this is one of those things that got him in hot water. Roasts go too far. I don't really watch roasts because I had that cringe moment where I don't want to hear something that makes me go, oh, why would you say that, And this roast had that in it in a lot of different places. I also don't understand how the comedians were picked, the ones that they chose.
He talked about it.
Okay, because I think it was good the way, you brought out Draymond. Like, he's not a comedian. So get him out of his element. Get him to do something, right? And he actually had a pretty decent set. And so I felt like if you do some things like that where you just bring out, regular people and you let them have fun, it's a totally different story. But then when you have a political agenda, when you have any kind of agenda at all, that's when it gets like, you let this happen. You allow for this. Somebody is always at the top making these decisions. If we were putting on a conference or a summit, we would be looking at everything that's happening, every act that's going out, every song, every set. These things are pre-planned, and I just can't believe that he didn't have anything.
So you don't believe him because, like, let's say you had a performance. We don't know what everybody's going to say live.
You don't. But I think with the jokes, you had to know. Right? Because here's the thing. You have a whole planning committee plus Netflix that's putting this together. There's a boardroom. There's discussion. I remember the birthday bash situations we used to be in. Everything was meticulously planned out. You didn't have room to just freestyle it.
Yes, you can. So at birthday bash,
yeah,
there were several artists that would just get up there and do stuff. It wasn't. We didn't know what they were going to say when they got up there. You know what I'm saying? When you get the mic in your hand, I don't know what you're going to do with it. Now, the responsibility that most churches have, and when you're doing church conferences, you yank them off the stage.
Yeah.
If they do something crazy. That's what I think people were expecting him to do. But do you think he actually heard the jokes before the show?
He says he didn't. He says, how could I laugh if I heard the jokes prior to it? But, I don't know. I feel like the writers in the room who wrote the jokes, they had to go through somebody for approval. I just don't think you just throw those out there.
The writers write the jokes for the people who aren't comedians. The comedians have their own teams that write their own jokes.
Yeah, exactly.
So you think they saw those jokes?
I think they had to. I think there's some level of PR in this entire event that makes you say, we gotta make sure that what we're listening to or what we're seeing is approved. Had to.
Right. Article that I read about it before the last show that we spoke about, well, actually on the show, because I didn't know the jokes. I was looking it up. It said that both of the comedians were warned before the show happened.
Which one? Both of which ones?
Yeah,
both of those comedians that said the Charlie Kirk joke and the George Floyd joke.
Why were they specifically warned? Why were they specifically warned?
Warned.
By PR.
Yeah, why?
By PR.
Because that just lets you know that it was known that they were going to do those jokes before they did. So it's like, if that's being reported, and I can't remember which news source it was, but it was a credible news source, but Kevin Hart is saying you had no idea they were going to do that, but they were warned and decided to do it anyway. Mm-hmm. Kevin, I think you have a responsibility as a producer to say that's too far. Because I've seen a few roasts. I don't go out of my way. I'm too busy to watch all of the things. But I've seen them. And yeah, sometimes they do make jokes that go below the belt that you wouldn't commonly or averagely say, which can be entertaining. We grew up roasting each other in middle school. But there is a line that you shouldn't cross. And I thought both of those jokes crossed the line.
Yeah, there was a part in the Tom Brady roast where Tom Brady got up and went to the guy's ear and was like, don't you ever say anything like that again.
It was about his wife, right?
No, it was about Robert Kraft in the massage parlor.
Oh.
Yeah. It was what's the guy they call the king of roast? What's his name? Jeff something.
The red suit guy.
Yeah, the red suit guy. He was the one that said it, and Tom Brady went in his ear because he had a mic on his lapel. You heard everything Tom said.
That was weird. Him doing that though.
It was almost like you're making fun of my father kind of thing.
No, it was weird. Tom saying it on stage, like that's strange. That makes it awkward. It's like, wait a minute.
Oh, it made it very awkward, but also gave you the idea that Tom didn't know what was going on.
Okay,
but then
then wouldn't that also apply to Kevin?
No, because Kevin is at the. I wouldn't say, I don't know, say he's the head of the comedians right now, but he was the head of this situation. He was the headliner of this show.
So it was Tom.
What are you talking about?
It was about Tom. It was about Tom Brady.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is Tom Brady didn't know those jokes were coming.
What's the difference? Tom is over Tom Brady's roast. Kevin Hart is over Kevin Hart's roast.
I wouldn't say Tom was over it like that. Not as much as Kevin Hart is over this.
Right.
Like,
was
this
Tom
is
the producer?
This is a Kevin Hart production. What is this? What's his media company called? Heartbeat. Heartbeat. Yeah. This is a Heartbeat production. Tom Brady just got together and said, "Hey, it'd be fun as I go out for y'all to roast me." I know it's coming.
I don't think you're giving Tom a lot too much credit. My guess is that Hart is lying, but I'm not giving Tom no grace on his joint either. There's some crazy stuff that happened in his as well.
There was some crazy stuff.
I'm not giving him a pass for what? Why?
But wait a minute. Who are you saying give him a pass for? Because I truly believe Tom Brady.
If you're going to apply it to Kevin Hart, apply it to Tom Brady. He's in control of a lot of stuff.
My point. I feel like
they made Tom Brady look innocent though.
Yeah, if you've seen roast, like we're saying, they go below the belt. It's like it's real, like it could be real dark kind of humor and whatnot. I think what's going on is in our country right now, for the last several years, we've had a lot of racial tension.
Yeah.
And then these are two deaths that were pretty graphic, in nature. So it's like Charlie Kirk, it haven't even been a year yet. You know what I'm saying? I don't think. Had it been a year?
No.
We're in that zone where I'm like, I can't remember now.
Yeah, I don't think it's been. I don't think
it was
it's been
the fall.
Yeah, I don't think it's been a year yet since he passed. And it's however you felt about him, to see somebody killed like that, and it being publicized the way it was, and even with George Floyd, how many times they played it over and over again, a man begging for his life.
Yeah.
I just think at the height of racial tension in our country, people are struggling and going through. Everybody's on the edge.
Yeah.
Although I understand the nature of a roast, I think you kind of got to read the room a little bit, and you got to know where in certain times, certain jokes may not have failed a certain way. Right now may not be the time for that. And then a bigger argument is, like, if you're that sensitive to the point where stuff is going to be said to bother you, just don't watch it. You know what I'm saying? So I do agree with him in that aspect, because roasts are typically jokes that they really cross the line. They'll talk about your family. They'll talk about your children. Like, that's the nature of a roast, so I necessarily wouldn't watch it. I do think there's boundaries there, but I think, I don't know, and I don't want to be conspiracy theories. I kind of feel like he had to do something. You know what I'm saying? Some people say humiliation rituals and all this kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? I kind of feel like those things are real. I feel like to get to a certain place of celebrity or maintain a certain place of celebrity, you got to play ball. You know what I'm saying? So I think a part of this may have those aspects to it. I don't want to be too spooky about it.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking he probably was aware of what was said, and it was a political agenda was involved. And they were like, hey, we're going to use this roast as a way to X, Y, and Z. And you going to play ball or, you know what I'm saying? Like, so I kind of feel like that kind of stuff be going on. So it could just be me.
I don't know. I mean, there's nothing special about this roast. I get everybody's reacting to these particular jokes, but every roast I've ever seen has been raw. It's been like, what are y'all talking about? How are y'all getting away with this? The only thing I could say, this is my take. The reason Tony and what's the other guy, Shane Gillis, I think. The reason they were there was so that other people besides us would watch it, right? He's trying to bring everybody to the table. And so Chelsea he knows if Shane is hosting it, I think Chelsea is kind of in the middle. She's considered a liberal. He's trying to bring the Republican conservatives to the table. So you get Tony, you get Shane, now you got both sides watching your show. So I think the idea was, okay, let them get off their racist jokes, we'll get off ours. It's even, right?
Yeah, it'll be a wash.
But what this is what I think they underestimated. Did y'all watch the George Floyd death? I watched it.
Yeah, it was terrible.
It was awful, man.
Yeah,
like it was like
a grown man crying out for his mama.
It was awful. Like it was one of the worst things I've ever seen. And so was the Charlie Kirk thing. It was
I didn't
awful.
watch Charlie Kirk.
Yeah, I didn't want to.
I saw the Charlie Kirk thing.
It jumped up. If you just scrolling the joint, just jumped up in my feed.
When y'all told me not to go looking for it,
they were awful. They were awful. So it's still a little raw to go there. And especially because, like, this is what you expect at a roast. As far as I'm concerned, you expect them to go at it to the people there.
Yeah.
I didn't expect them to go at it to people not there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's where I'm like, whoa. Like, even the joke Kevin's friend said about Dave Chappelle. Like, why are you shooting at people that ain't even in the room? Like, keep it... Even the audience is fair game, but why are you shooting at stuff that ain't even there? Like, to me, that's off limits. I think that's going too far. If you're going to do a roast, the people that are there signed up for it.
Mm-hmm.
Let them have it. But other things, like, I don't know. That's too far.
Yeah, but it looked like Cheryl Underwood was laughing at the joke about her husband. That's what made me think she knew it was coming. Because, like I said, again, the teleprompter, you could even see the host saying stuff like, as he's reading the teleprompter, he's like, oh, that didn't land? Oh, I thought that was going to be a good one. And so this stuff was pre-written. People knew about it. I think from a production side to an execution side, everybody was aware of what was going to be said.
Here's my problem with Kevin Hart. You know what a roast is. You know it's raw. Yeah. So you know it's going to come. Why are you so angry? This is part of it.
Right.
The best way to handle this, if you were so big and bad to do this roast, is just shut up. Let them have their conversations. Let them have their whatever, and just be quiet.
I would not have responded. I mean,
your response is making it worse. It's like
people get
it looks
offended,
callous, like you really don't care.
Sensitive kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah, the hit dog or holler. So it's like when you get offended, that's when you want to respond. We saw that this week. When you get offended is when you want to respond.
I just feel like it's more to it, man. I just feel like it's levels, man. I just feel like you got to let certain stuff, you got to do certain things, like to get to a certain level, you got to play ball, man. I just feel like he was just playing ball.
It's just interesting because Kevin Hart is at the level where he doesn't really need to play ball. If he does his own, if he pops up a YouTube channel tomorrow and he says, I'm about to just do a whole 30-minute set, people are going to go to that.
Sometimes you got to play ball to get there. Sometimes you got to play to stay there. I'm saying it's politics. There's levels to it. I think when you have a certain level of celebrity, and we ain't talking about the church, we talking about the world. You know what I'm saying? Like, they have a certain level of celebrity in this world and maintain that. There's certain checks and balances that have to be taken care of. Think about it, most of the people we know who are just out here just thriving, it's always something that happens. Mysteriously, something happens. Some kind of accident, somebody get beat up and they're in the hospital. You know what I'm saying? It's always like the car accident he got in. Like, it's just random stuff you just don't know. With no kind of valid explanation of what's going on, no clear details and no clear facts. We really don't know for real. So we don't know what's behind it. I just got that feeling myself. I could be wrong.
So what's the play then? Why would they be doing that?
I think it's something to cause some kind of racial tension. Like, right now, we're in a place in our country where racial tension is already high. So you got a big face like Kevin Hart with all these high-profile celebrities. They're making fun of Charlie Kirk. The white people are gonna be mad. You making fun of George Floyd. The black people are gonna be mad. Now you got people mad all over the place. Like, it's a play. It's like stuff like that. It's just like the whole thing they had a little while ago when Trump came out and they had the black people playing like the Lion King and stuff and calling them monkeys. Like, you trying to tell me as the president of the United States and your team, and they put this video out, you didn't see it before it came out, you knew what was going on. It's a play to play on folks' emotions and try to get them riled up.
So, but then you have to admit that that's been going on for a long time. Because you remember the roast with Whoopi when she got in trouble. Somebody had on blackface, and then there was a roast with.
Oh wow!
This is. I'm talking about decades. This is how roasts go.
I've never watched a roast other than.
I've seen roasts since I was a little kid. They always go too far. Always say something that's crazy. Now we just got social media. It's easy to pass it.
It's just another thing to keep you from talking about the Epstein file.
You know what I'm saying?
Like, talk about it.
That's what I'm saying, man. Like, when I started looking at blatant ignorance,
keep talking
like
it, but not doing nothing about it.
Yeah, we see blatant ignorance and stuff like this happening. Like, a lot of times we see things for face value and we get riled up. We get me talking about, like, yeah, it's obviously ignorant to talk about George Floyd or Charlie Kirk, no matter how you feel about the situation. Their families are still grieving. They're still going through this stuff. So why would somebody do something so heinous? It's like the question I asked about Trump, what's worse, being a pedophile or a racist? I'd rather be seen as a racist than a pedophile, so I'm going to do something to take the eyes off of the stuff that's really heinous and bad and terrible. These jokes are terrible, but you got to file millions of files of folks messing with kids. What do you think is worse?
I think I get what you're saying, but this is what Kill Tony is known for. He's known for, remember he got, not in trouble, but a lot of backlash for the stuff he said at the Trump convention before the election about Puerto Rico. Yeah. Like, this is his thing. He pushes these buttons all the time. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So
he did.
Where was he at? He did the jokes. Where was he at?
New York.
I'm saying, what event?
The Trump event.
I'm saying, bro, like, read the play. Like, he doing this stuff in places where it's going to be seen, it's going to be noticed, and it's going to push buttons. It's a bigger play. Everybody.
But isn't that just his play though? If I'm trying to be known, if I'm trying to be known, and I know if I say this, it's Jerry Springer. It's gonna get attention. Couldn't it just be his play that I'm gonna get my name out there? I'm appeal to this racist base.
These folks are compromised. Same thing Trump do. Trump appealing to a racist base. Trump don't care about the folks who on his side or who not. Trump care about Trump, and he gonna appeal to whoever is on his side. It's the same thing all these folks do. Yeah. If I got to tell these heinous jokes to get you to look at my special, all exposure is good exposure to these people. You can talk about you hate it and all that kind of stuff. Meanwhile, while folks talking about how bad it is, people still watching it on Netflix. Yeah, and guess what? Views equal what? Views equal dollars. Exactly. Views equal dollars. You can hate my guts, but you still watching it. I don't care while I'm up in my penthouse sitting back looking at all y'all saying all this stuff. I'm still getting paid.
That's definitely Tony's play. Yeah. I think he loves this. I do think he was a little annoyed. I didn't get it.
He looked very annoyed.
I didn't get it, but he did have a reaction to this where he was kind of like...
I listened to the reaction.
They called me Nazis. They called me gay. Yeah. They called me all... Like, they were letting him have it. And he's like, I wasn't offended.
Yeah.
But I said... He's still pushing buttons, but he's like, I said true things about them. Yeah. None of those things were true about me. And I'm like, whoa, you still...
Yeah, he said something else racist right behind it.
This is his thing. Mm-hmm. He is branded racist comic. That's his thing. Yeah. So the question back to Kevin is, you didn't know that? You brought him there for a reason. He's doing what you wanted him to do.
It's an agenda.
So if you're going to do it, take it. You got to take the backlash and just be quiet.
I think you're right. I think when he came out with the Puerto Rico joke at the RNC, I think that was enough for me to distance myself if I was Kevin Hart. If I was like, we're not doing that.
But that's Tony's point. He wants you to do that.
No, but I'm saying Kevin Hart has to take responsibility for bringing him in there because he knew he was already in a situation where the racist jokes.
It's a money play. The fact that Shane was the host. Yeah. If you see Kevin Hart roast, you know black people gonna show up. I need to get white people to show up, so I'm gonna make Shane the host, and I'm gonna bring Tony because I know I'm gonna get both sides to show up. That was his play. It just backfired on him.
Exactly, and we disrespecting each other's side because we're talking about a black death that was tragic. We're talking about a white death that is tragic. So what's gonna happen now? Did you hear those jokes at the Kevin Hart roast? They were terrible. How many people looking it up on YouTube? How many people watching a roast? It's a money move, and it's causing tension between people.
And don't get it twisted. The reason he's on the Breakfast Club is because they both signed to Netflix,
and that's promotion.
He's there for more promotion of the event.
You upset talking about this, but you're really what is Kevin Hart so mad about? Let me check the roast out and see what they really say. Yeah. Views, it's money.
Yeah. This is so when the play is from Netflix.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we getting played by Netflix. That's all. That's
Netflix laughing to
and they'll use Kevin. They'll use whoever they want to get.
This is not the holy chapel of Netflix. These folks don't care about us, man. These folks trying to get money, man.
My question though is like, because like you said that they cross the line all the time, but where is morality going? Where is humanity going to where we're making jokes? Because when I looked up the Cheryl Underwood joke, you made a joke about this lady's husband who unalived himself. We're making jokes about brutal, violent murders. Like, where's the line?
Ain't no line. You dealing with the devil.
Yeah, I think what you heard on stage was everyone approved of the content. I think they said, "Hey, Cheryl, can we talk about this?" And she's like, "Yeah, you could talk about that." "Can we talk about this?" "Yeah, you could talk about that." And you notice who they didn't talk about. And I know this is where Kevin Hart lied. Remember, what's her name? Regina Hall? You notice how nobody said nothing about her? Not a word about Regina. Am I saying the right word? Regina Hall,
yeah.
Nobody said nothing about her. The excuse was that I kept hearing, she's royalty. Nobody would dare and all that stuff. When they asked him about that, he said, it's because she was a late-minute ad. They didn't have time to prepare for her.
Her set was terrible, too.
The truth is, she probably said, I ain't doing it if you're going to let people shoot at me. I don't approve no jokes about nothing. And her face was stone cold during the jokes because she's doing PR.
Yeah.
I'm here because you're my friend. I'm not gonna laugh at nothing, and you're not gonna make jokes about me. That I guarantee you that was in our contract.
And these people are these people are in cahoots. These people know what's going on. You're not gonna have a group of people come in here without being in close proximity to these people. You know these people. Like y'all have personal relationships. You know what's going on. Like these people hang with each other. So when we talk about morality and evil and stuff, these folks been through that out the window. They've been stood on the hill of I'm going to do whatever I got to do to get rich and get money and take care of mine. That's what their whole mentality is. These folks don't care about nobody else but themselves. And so that's why they can shoot at somebody else's family who lost somebody and they don't really care because meanwhile, while everybody pissed off, they getting paid. That's just what it is.
That's crazy.
It's sad. But like I said, with the devil, there ain't no limit to how low he going to go to cause corruption and division and discord. Like, He gonna stoop to any level he can. The man try to tempt Jesus. So you think he ain't gonna do that to us?